Good morning. Welcome to day 66. I didn't realize there's a picnic table here. It looks like it needs some repair though, so I guess I'm glad I didn't use that. It's also a parking lot there. This is a really accessible campground here by the water. Surprisingly, a lot of cars driving by. Well, I don't think at nighttime, but definitely in the evening and the morning today. But yeah, let me switch this real quick just so you can see I'm still alive. And I swapped out my shirt because my other one was getting a little too grimy. It's just so humid yesterday for half the day. And then it seems like I got to the other side of the hill and then the breeze started. It wasn't so humid, so I was thankful for that. But anyway, I swapped out the shirt and yeah, I'm feeling okay. Looks like, I'll switch it around here. It looks like I have a new ailment, which I've never had on this trip, which is I think I just stubbed my toe, my big toe, on my left foot. So I am actually kind of hobbling a little bit today. I'm hoping it's something I could power through and I just warm up and I'll just start walking normally, hopefully. I hope it's not anything serious. I don't think I broke anything. But I don't know where that's from and why it's just on one foot. And why I didn't feel it towards the end of hiking yesterday. Just I felt it like this morning. Weird. Otherwise, I feel pretty good. Maybe still recovering from being sick. Although I feel pretty normal now. I think it's a good sign that I was able to get a pretty early start just after 8. I think I just got a lot of good rest. So I'll have to see. I'll have to check my Fitbit when I get cell phone reception and it can sync up. I'm pretty sure I got pretty good recovery sleep there that I needed, so I'm happy about that. Yeah, and then the spot the spot where I tented was pretty dang level. I think that was actually something that woke me up a few times previous night. It wasn't level, so my whole sleeping mattress was constantly sliding towards one end, and I had to readjust it, wake up and then readjust. Anyway, it didn't really happen last night, so I'm happy. But yeah, and today I should say the thunderstorms are coming back in the schedule, in the forecast, I should say. The afternoon thunderstorms, hopefully afternoon. I'll have to check the weather again. But yeah, I'm not sure what to do about that. Oh, and let's see here. Oh, and there's also a deli coming up, so I'm looking forward to that. Right on the trail in about 6.5 miles or so. But yeah, so some things to look forward to today, some things not to look forward to, but I'm trying to push through. Yeah, I think I did mess up. Well, trying to meet my parents again. They wanted me further up north, so I gave them a town to meet in. But I recalculated the miles, and I'm gonna have to push for like over 15 miles a day consistently, which I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do. But so we'll see how I'm feeling today. I might have to readjust our meeting point, but I haven't told them yet. I don't want to cause too much confusion. But yeah, taking off days and having to go back into town to replace my water filter and all that, it sucked up some time there. Originally, it was computed to be around averaging like 13 miles a day, and then it shot up. Taking all that time off, the average just shot up. So I think the same thing will happen too if I really do want to do the whole trail. It's gonna be a problem sometime eventually when I'm ticking off too many 0 days. But you do need those days for recovery, so gotta balance them, use them wisely. Anyway, I was gonna say, yeah, it is warming up a bit too. So it'd be nice if I can wake up earlier, get in more miles in the cool morning. This feels pretty nice right now. Not actually too humid, definitely not too hot. So anyway, I think it's a good start today, and I think let's go onward. Let's see what this says here. Trail Boss. Trail Boss is like a blue blaze. I don't actually know where it goes, but it's a blue blaze that leaves the trail and then bypasses and then somehow shortcuts the AT. But I'm not doing blue blazing. That's an alternative choose your own adventure there. Anyway, let's go onward. Sometimes I don't really like the AT road walks here, but in this case, I make an exception because it took me over the freeway. But there's a freeway just like this, probably the same speed limit in New York. I don't know if they updated it. I think it's Palisades Parkway or maybe around there. But I almost got hit by a car 7 years ago. So I'm grateful for anytime I can use one of these bridges. It's a good thing, even though I'm doing like a road walk now. But there's only been like one car that's passed me on this road. This road isn't really used that much, I guess. So I'm happy. I'm reasonably safe. Anyway, that was fun. I stopped by the deli there. Unfortunately, they only took cash, so they kind of cleaned me out for the rest of my cash that I think I started with $100 in tens, and I've been giving it out here and there, sometimes as tips and whatnot. But now I'm pretty depleted. So next, well, they had an ATM in there, but next, I think Bank of America ATM. I'm gonna go there. I don't know why I use Bank of America, by the way. I should use a credit union. But anyway, whatever. That's not the point. But yeah, sometimes the AT is just literally there. This is just it. And you're like, what? What is this? But every once in a while you see the little white blazes to reassure you that you're on your path. Just as I say that, there's no white blazes. Sometimes I see one behind me. There's a little AT sign. I guess I just passed it. You probably saw it on the video. Anyway. Oh, I see one way down the road there. So I'm pretty good now. Anyway, but here's one car. I'll sort of let it pass here. Not too bad, not too bad. Today's actually a pretty decent day. Even though I think the high is like 80, it doesn't feel as like muggy. It might have just been the terrain where I was yesterday. It's just really muggy. I was talking to the other hikers and they were agreeing. It's just like, bleh, like you need to get the laundry done. I'm feeling slightly refreshed because I did finally switch out my shirt to my my sun shirt. I should switch it around here. So now I got like sun protection. So this is actually perfect for today because it's not too muggy, and there is a sunny stretch here. So anyway, I feel pretty good. Water situation is still kind of not so great. So coming up a shelter, I'm gonna have to go to the shelter and go down whatever switchbacks. It's a bit of a trip, it looks like. Probably 0.2 down to the shelter and then 0.2 down to the water. Coming up all the way, probably a good over a mile round trip just to go get water. But I can't can't skip this one because this is the only reliable water for the next, I want to say like 10 miles or something. It's pretty bad actually. Yeah. Anyway, I'm hoping also there's thunderstorms on the way. Chance of them later today, although just a slight chance maybe today. But I'm hoping that brings some more moisture. That'll be nice. All right, here's a car. I'll let them pass. But yeah, I'm gonna fill up there, and then my plan is to haul up a bunch of water, get to one of the campsites that's just past that, and today or tomorrow I'm gonna hit the 600 mile mark too, which is a pretty momentous. So that might be a nice push for today. But it's all how I'm feeling, you know. We'll see. Still got a little bit of the road walk. Here's a blaze coming up, so just lets you know that you're not completely crazy. Like, why am I walking by the side of the road? I think probably the drivers don't know. I think the drivers have no idea. These signs go by so fast, I don't think they know what these mean. There's little, occasionally there's like an Appalachian Trail sign. Most of the time I don't think people know that where they are or where the Appalachian Trail is. I was walking through one town and I told the guy, oh yeah, it goes right past the front of the restaurant. He was like, oh really? I have no idea. Anyway, they know of the trail, but they don't know exactly where it goes. That's cool though. There's knowledge of the trail. Anyway, I'm gonna stop yapping and keep going. I think I'm gonna turn to the right up ahead. Hopefully get back in the woods and off this road. So that'll be nice. Although road walk is pretty easy, you don't have to look down because it's pretty clear. You can kind of tell. No big rocks or roots or anything. That's kind of nice, but I'd rather get back in the woods. Let's go. Okay, well, I just got back on the AT from the Helvey's Mill shelter, and that was a nice long detour, side quest there to get water. I also used the privy, so I guess that was cool. The privy had their own log, which was weird. Usually shelters have a little log book people can write things in. Privy had its own logbook. I kind of don't want to touch it though. It's a privy log on it. But yeah, that was good. Good stop. I guess it was a good rest anyway. I'd actually arrived there a little earlier than I expected. It just kind of arrived. That's kind of a nice thing. I gotta do that more often, where I'm not checking my phone as often, especially towards the end of the day. Otherwise, 1 mile can feel like 5 miles if it's, especially you're going to the last shelter of the day or whatnot. It can take forever. Whereas if I just keep it in my pocket, keep track of time instead. I tend to do that. Assuming I'm going at least 2 miles an hour, I usually do calculations based on that. Sometimes I'm a little faster. So it's kind of nice if I arrive there a little earlier. So 2 miles an hour is a nice conservative and easy number to work with usually. So usually I'm trying to just work by that and checking my watch so I don't have to pull out my phone all the time. Anyway, that seems to work pretty well though. And then it's a pleasant surprise if I get there early. But yeah, I went, Helvey's Mill shelter. It looked like a nice shelter, but yeah, there was a 0.2 mile blue blaze to the shelter, and then 0.3 miles from there downhill, of course, to the water. It had its own switchbacks. It actually wasn't that tricky. Like, I didn't need poles, and it wasn't hard to get to. It was just a long walk. And when I got there, maybe it was the saddest puddle that I've seen. Usually shelters are pretty reliable water. This one had like a trickle and a puddle, and I think an ATC, Appalachian Trail Conservancy, provided scoop. So thank you, ATC, for that. I definitely ended up scooping most of it. And the thing is with the scoop, like, you disturb the sediment, and you gotta wait a while till it settles down again, or you end up scooping that up in the next scoop. But I'm filled up. I filled up to I brought up like 4 liters, and I'm hoping that'll be good. Just trying to calculate it over the next day or two. My plan for the day is to get a few more miles in, because that shelter was not even 10 miles or so, like 9 miles. So I need to do a little bit more than that. And I'm still feeling pretty okay now, thankfully. And I think a lot of this is going to be pretty level too. There's not going to be any huge ascents. So I think I'm good there. And it's just past 3 p.m. So I've got a good few more hours, 2 or 3 hours before I should really be thinking of calling it quits. But I can sort of quit anytime now. If I find a good campsite, I can just sort of pitch my tent and I got water. Something I realized too is actually I don't need water for dinner, because I packed out an extra burger from that deli at lunchtime that I stopped at. So technically I don't need any water to cook. Just need water for hydration for today, and then tomorrow morning if I want coffee, if I want to do cold soak, which I haven't been doing, or just eat a snack bar, which is more likely. I say I haven't been cold soaking. I was gonna cold soak, but I opened up my cold soak container and it was starting to stink. I need to take care of that at the next hostel. So I kind of don't know, and I don't want to use my water to rinse that out. Anyway, but yeah, so yeah, and water's kind of difficult. So next shelter is, I want to say it's in about 10 miles or so, and the water situation there isn't much better. It looks like it's pretty slow, or pools that you need to scoop from. Pretty sad. um, but 16 miles from here is a hostel that's only 0.2 miles off the trail. So even if I don't stay at the hostel, that's still gonna be a good bet to go in, get some snacks, and refill on water. I think it's called Weary Feet Hostel. That's good. I got tonight to think of what I want to do. Probably should edit some videos, get them exported, ready to upload. In case I do end up staying there, because that might work out pretty okay mileage wise. If I do 3 more miles today, then I get in 13 miles, which is on the lower end of my range, but it's still in there. And then tomorrow will be the same, 13 miles. So that might actually be the thing to do, but we'll see. Anyway, it was starting to get pretty hot there, so I think that was a nice break anyway. It's not feeling super hot now. Well, I guess I'm not going uphill. I think that was mostly, yeah, that had 100% to do with that perception. But going downhill now. It's feeling okay, kind of warm. But yeah, let's keep making progress here. Let's see where I go today. I got options. I got some freedom today because I got my water, so I can just sort of quit whenever I see a good flat spot there. Leave no trace says a spot that's been used before. I don't want to clear out an entirely new campsite, but I'm definitely gonna look for one that's been used before, in case anyone cares about that. That is what I do. So anyway, let's continue onward into looks like the green tunnel, the epitome of the green tunnel. Back into it. All right.